Is the narcissist secretly gay? Have you ever wondered about the relationship between narcissism and sexual identity? Maybe you've caught yourself questioning, could my narcissistic partner be secretly gay? Today, we're diving deep into this controversial and complex topic. Let's separate fact from fiction and uncover what's really going on. But first, a quick disclaimer. This isn't about labeling or judging anyone's sexual orientation. It's about understanding narcissism and how it affects relationships and identity. Let's start with the basics. People often associate narcissists with secrecy, deception, or having a hidden agenda, which is why the question of whether a narcissist might be secretly gay comes up so often. You've probably heard things like, "I think he's in the closet," or seen behavior that seems to hint at more than meets the eye. But here's the thing. Narcissism itself doesn't correlate directly with sexual orientation. Instead, the question stems from a deeper issue. Narcissists lack a core identity. Their true selves stopped developing long ago, often in early childhood, and what's left is a false self, a facade designed to manipulate others and maintain control. Think about it. If someone doesn't truly know who they are, how can they be certain about something as personal as their sexual orientation? This lack of a core identity is a hallmark of narcissism, and it touches every aspect of their lives, including their relationships, careers, and even their sense of self. This false self is carefully constructed to attract admiration and deflect any criticism that might shatter their fragile ego. It's a survival mechanism, a way to navigate a world where they feel deeply inadequate and insecure. And because this false self is so central to their existence, narcissists can be incredibly convincing. They'll often go to great lengths to maintain the image they've created, even if it means denying their true feelings or desires. So, when we see a narcissist behaving in a way that seems incongruent with their stated identity, like a married man flirting excessively with other men, it's natural to wonder if there's something more going on beneath the surface. But remember, we're not talking about simply having questions about one's sexuality. We're talking about a deeply ingrained pattern of deception and manipulation that stems from a fundamental lack of self, and that's a crucial distinction to make. So, is the narcissist secretly gay? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no. Narcissists aren't guided by a solid sense of self, including their sexuality. Instead, their behavior revolves around one thing: narcissistic supply. Praise, admiration, and validation are their lifeline. They crave attention, positive or negative, like oxygen. It's what fuels their sense of self-worth. For some, this means crossing traditional boundaries, including same-sex relationships. Supply is supply, and it doesn't matter where it comes from. They're like emotional chameleons, adapting to elicit the desired response. A narcissist might engage in flirtation with anyone to feel powerful. The other person's reaction becomes a form of validation. They often maintain appearances to project societal success. They craft a persona that aligns with societal expectations. This need to maintain a facade can lead to internal conflict. They crave validation from their perceived perfect life. They may harbor secret desires that contradict their image. This dissonance can be isolating for both the narcissist and those around them. Genuine intimacy becomes nearly impossible as the narcissist is always performing. Chapter 3. If you're wondering whether your narcissistic husband might be secretly gay, here are a few signs to consider. Unusual relationships with male friends. Does he seem overly close or flirtatious with male friends? Does he light up around them in a way that seems different from his usual demeanor? Pay attention to the nuances of his interactions. Defensiveness or projection. Has he accused you of being unfaithful or questioned your sexuality? This is a common tactic used by narcissists to deflect attention away from their own behaviors and insecurities. By accusing you, they're essentially projecting their own internal struggles onto you. Sometimes, projection can be a defense mechanism. It's easier to point the finger at someone else than to confront their own uncomfortable truths. This can be incredibly confusing and hurtful, especially if you're already in a vulnerable position. Inconsistent behavior. He may exhibit behaviors that don't align with his public persona, such as frequenting certain spaces or engaging in private conversations that seem off. These inconsistencies can be subtle or quite overt, depending on the individual and the situation. Pay attention to any discrepancies between his words and actions, his public persona and his private behavior. These inconsistencies can offer valuable clues about his true nature. sexual disinterest in you, a sudden or consistent lack of intimacy, combined with secretive behavior, might be a red flag. This, coupled with other signs, could indicate that his emotional and sexual needs are being met elsewhere. It's important to remember that a decline in intimacy can stem from a variety of factors, and it's not always indicative of infidelity. However, when combined with other red flags, it's worth paying attention to. Overcompensating masculinity. Some narcissists overly assert their heterosexuality to deflect suspicion. They may make a show of being attracted to women, make homophobic remarks, or go out of their way to prove their masculinity. This overcompensation is often a way to silence any doubts or suspicions that others might have. It's a way to control the narrative and maintain their carefully constructed image. But remember, these signs alone don't necessarily mean your husband is gay. What they do indicate is a deeper issue with authenticity, identity, and honesty, hallmarks of narcissistic behavior. These signs point to a pattern of deception, manipulation, and a lack of genuine connection. And that's ultimately what's most important to address. Chapter 4. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Narcissists don't see people as individuals with emotions and worth. Instead, they see others as tools to boost their own fragile ego. They lack empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. To them, people are objects to be used and discarded as needed. They're sources of narcissistic supply, nothing more. This fundamental lack of empathy is what allows them to engage in such manipulative and hurtful behavior. Whether they act gay, straight, or anything in between, it's not about genuine attraction, it's about survival. Their actions are driven by a desperate need to feel validated, admired, and in control. They're constantly seeking ways to fill the emptiness within, and they'll use whatever means necessary to achieve that goal. This can manifest in a variety of ways, from infidelity to emotional manipulation to financial exploitation. For a narcissist, gender and orientation often become irrelevant in the endless pursuit of validation. They're not truly connected to their own identity, let alone the identities of others. Their focus is solely on themselves, their needs, and their desires. This self-centeredness permeates every aspect of their lives, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. It's important to remember that you can't change a narcissist. You can't love them enough, fix them, or reason with them. Their patterns of behavior are deeply ingrained and resistant to change. The best thing you can do is to protect yourself. Set boundaries, seek support from trusted friends or professionals, and prioritize your own well-being. Chapter 5. So, is the narcissist secretly gay? The better question might be, does the narcissist even know who they are at all? Their sexuality, like many parts of their identity, is shaped more by their need for control and supply than by authentic self-awareness. They're so busy constructing and maintaining their facade that they lose touch with their true selves. This lack of self-awareness makes it incredibly difficult for them to engage in genuine, meaningful relationships. If you're dealing with a narcissist in your life, especially in a romantic relationship, know that their actions often reflect their own inner chaos, not a reflection of you. It's not about you, your worth, or your lovability. It's about their own internal struggles, their inability to connect on a deeper level. And if you suspect your partner might be hiding something, it's okay to seek clarity and protect your own well-being. Trust your instincts, pay attention to the red flags, and don't be afraid to ask difficult questions. You deserve honesty, respect, and authenticity in your relationships. Don't settle for anything less. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you experienced this kind of behavior before? How did you handle it? Your experiences can provide valuable insights and support to others who may be going through similar challenges. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep these important conversations going. By sharing our stories and supporting one another, we can break through the confusion, stigma, and pain associated with narcissism. You're not alone, and together we can heal and thrive. Empowering minds, healing hearts.